Hello BookTube, it's Leah Cooper here, and today I want to bring you a TBR for an upcoming readathon. So this readathon is, I think it's just called the Autumnreadathon. Oh, that is a tongue twister. It is being hosted by Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings. I will leave a link down to her announcement video where she talks about all the challenges in depth. It is running from the 22nd of October to the 28th. And there are 4 main reading challenges and 2 optional challenges. I'm not going to do the 2 bonus challenges because, to be honest, I'm not reading a whole ton this year. I've only finished, 2 of the 4 books I meant to read for Cozyathon, and I'm probably not going to finish any others. I don't see myself having a whole ton of time to read during the week of this readathon, but I want to give it a go. So the first challenge is to read a gothic or spooky novel, and I decided to go for what I'm assuming is going to be a gothic novel, and that is Glasstown Game by Catherynne and Valente. I've had this now for about 6 weeks. I still haven't read it. I really need to read it. And I'm calling this gothic because it's about the Bronte siblings and their travel into a fantasy world. And the Brontes are kind of, in themselves, the epitome, or at least I think of them as the epitome of gothic fiction. So a book about them as children, I'm counting it as gothic, even if it's not necessarily very spooky. The second challenge is to read autumnal nonfiction. I don't read a whole lot of nonfiction, let alone autumnal nonfiction. Mercedes suggested reading something like nature writing, which I don't read. Not interested in it. And what's more is that I actually have some nonfiction I need to get read this month for research for my NaNoWriMo project. So I'm just going to count that for this challenge. And that is this huge book, History of the Medieval World by Susan Wise Bayer. I'm not going to read this whole thing because this is like 700 plus pages detailing Constantine to the First Crusade. I'm just interested in certain pieces of it because this details pretty much the entire scope of the Holy Roman Empire, as well as the reach of the Ottoman Empire during this time period. And I'm not interested in all of those regions. I'm only interested in a couple of regions and a couple of specific events. So I'm going to be trying to dip in and out of this book during that week as research. The third challenge is to read a novel set in a cold location. So for this book, I'm going to try to read Whyborne and Griffin #3, Stormhaven. I'm actually not entirely sure if this is set in a cold location. The first book, Widdershins, is set in a very cold location during winter. And I'm currently reading the second book, which takes place in Virginia during the spring/summer. So it's really hot during the second book. I'm hoping that the third book, we will have come back around to the winter again, and so it'll count for this challenge. If not, I might not do this challenge. Not really sure, because the only other thing I need to read this month so that I can return to the library is When the Moon Was Ours, and I don't think this takes place in a cold location. So let's just hope Stormhaven is set during the winter. And then the fourth challenge is to read a piece of historical fiction. And so for that, I have the Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue coming in at the library, and I'm hoping it'll be here within the next week or so I can go ahead and read that for this challenge. So that is my tentative TBR for this challenge. We'll see how it goes. I've been real flaky about reading challenges lately and reading this month in general. I've got a lot of writing I absolutely have to get finished before the end of the month so that I can start totally fresh come November 1st. But yeah, we'll see. Let me know down below if you're planning on participating in this readathon. And if you enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.